Hello students, today we are going to talk about water resources in module 1. We will discuss some facts about water resources, scarcity of water resources in India, causes of scarcity of water including natural causes and man-made causes, conservation and management of water resources in ancient and medieval periods. Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. When the great English sailor, poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge uttered these lines over 2 centuries back, even he may not have realized how relevant his observations will be in the future. To understand the importance of water, let's revisit some basic facts that all of us know. Fact number 1. Almost 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water, but only a small proportion is available for our use. As you can see on the screen, only 1% of the Earth's water is accessible and available for human use. As around 97% of Earth's water is present in oceans, which is neither drinkable nor usable for irrigation. Around 2% in ice caps and glaciers, which is inaccessible, and therefore about 1% of water is available for our use, which is present in rivers, lakes and grounds. Fact number 2. Water is a renewable resource. As you all know that water is being renewed continuously by a cycle called hydrological cycle, where water evaporates from oceans, lakes and streams, and also transpiration from plants, condenses as clouds and precipitates back on the earth. Some of this water goes underground and other runs off on the surface in various forms. Despite the fact that water is a renewable resource, we have scarcity of water almost all over the world. While potable water is scarce all over the world, let's now understand India's water maths. As per a study published in the Times of India in the year 2019, the freshwater resources in India are roughly 4,000 billion cubic meters. Out of this, roughly 25% each is lost in evaporation or is not available for use. Out of the remaining roughly 1900 billion cubic of water, only 1100 billion cubic meter water is usable, which is groundwater and surface water. As per Niti Aayog, more than half of the population of India faces high to extremely high water stress. And around 40% of India's water supply is being depleted at unsustainable rates. Now let's understand the cause of this grave situation of water scarcity in India. Water scarcity. It is the lack of sufficient available water resources to meet the demands of water usage within a region. Now look at these pictures. You can see scores of women travelling tens of kilometers for a pot or two of water in the arid areas of Western India. In the second picture, again hundreds of people are struggling to fetch just a pot of water for their household in an urban slum dwelling in South India. Reasons for scarcity of water in India can be due to natural factors and human activities. Let's first analyze natural reasons. Look at the two maps. The first map shows the annual average rainfall over different regions in India, and the second map shows the major rivers in India. If you look at the maps closely, you will realize areas where the annual rainfall is least are also deprived of natural water bodies. For example, parts of Rajasthan. While natural causes have a definite role, the major causes of water scarcity are created by humans. These affect both quantity and quality of water. Let's discuss these reasons. Number 1. Rapidly growing population and rising demand for water affects the availability or quantity of water. A large population require more water not only for domestic use but also to produce more food. Hence, to facilitate higher food production, water resources are being overexploited to expand irrigated areas for dry season agriculture. Irrigated agriculture is the largest consumer of water in India. Most farmers have their own wells and tube wells in their farms for irrigation to increase their produce. But have you ever wondered what this could result in? It may lead to falling groundwater levels, adversely affecting water availability and food security of the people. Point 2. Increasing urbanization. As the number of households grow, the demand for water increases. Look at these pictures. I am sure all those who are living in urban areas would have water tanks with a storage capacity of 500 litres to 2000 litres on your rooftops. Besides, your colony or area is very likely to have a master water tank up to 10,000 to 50,000 kiloliters. Also, in many localities, you will find motors which draw out underground water for domestic consumption. Point 3. Increasing population also fuels growth of industrialization, resulting in greater demand for water. The ever-increasing number of industries has made matters worse by exerting pressure on existing freshwater resources. Now, let's look at the qualitative aspect. Uncontrolled pollution. Increasing urbanization and industrialization also inversely affect the quality of water. Untreated industrial waste, lack of proper sanitation facilities and large-scale sewage disposal into our natural water bodies leads to contamination of water resources. Again, whether you are living in a city or rural area, I am sure you would have come across water bodies which are contaminated or polluted due to human and industrial waste. Many rivers of India have turned into toxic streams, and even the two major rivers of India, Ganga and Yamuna, are highly polluted. Now that we have understood the importance of water and the causes of its scarcity, let's do a small exercise. Identify the natural and man-made causes that have already caused or may cause water scarcity in your region. Try to figure out ways to control this situation. After this discussion, you may have realized that the need of the hour is to conserve and manage water resources. Now, let's figure out what we can do to conserve and manage one of the most important resources to survive. The importance of conserving water was very well known to our great ancestors as well. Therefore, while we will study about the modern techniques of water conservation and management like dams, multipurpose river projects and rainwater harvesting, we will also learn that conservation and management of water was done in prehistoric civilizations like the Indus Valley civilization. Let's learn about the techniques adopted for conservation and management of water in ancient and medieval period. Traditionally, several techniques have been adopted to collect or harvest rainwater and store the same for later use. Some of the examples in various regions of India are step wells and flood water collection trenches in ancient times, tankas and baulis, johards in Haryana and Rajasthan, inundation channels in West Bengal, kulls or gulls in Himachal Pradesh, traditional dams or check dams. Interestingly, Many of the traditional practices are still being followed in modern forms. The pictures that you see on the screen are dated 5500 BC to 1 century BC. Even during those times, people understood the importance of conserving water and built elementary step wells to store rainwater. Those civilizations had also discovered that they could store water from overflowing rivers during floods. Now look at the next set of pictures. When you travel across Rajasthan and North India, you will find quite a few structures dating 9th and 10th centuries known as baulis or step wells, which were built to conserve water and where the steps were built so that one could access water even as the water level receded over a period of time. There are also examples like the Bhopal Lake, which was built in 11th century to cater to the water needs of the city. It is still one of the biggest man-made water bodies in India. Also, the Hauz Khas Lake, which was constructed in the 14th century to meet the demands of water for Sirifort area in Delhi. Now look at some of the traditional methods of water conservation and management being used even today. A johar, also known as pokhar, is a community-owned traditional harvested rainwater storage in the states of Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh that collects and store water throughout the year to be used for the purpose of recharging groundwater, washing, drinking and bathing for humans and cattle. Some johars also have bricked or stone masonry on edges. In parts of Himachal Pradesh, people utilize kulls, diversion channels up to 10 kilometers long, to carry water from glaciers to the village tank. Some kulls have existed for centuries. Tanka, built as early as 17th century. Tanka is a traditional rainwater harvesting technique common to the Thar desert region of Rajasthan, particularly in Bikaner, Phalodi and Barmer. It is composed of a covered underground impermeable cistern or shallow ground for the collection of rainwater. Some of these tankas were as big as a room. At times, living rooms were built alongside the tankas to keep them naturally cold during the summers. However, the importance of tankas has declined in Rajasthan with the introduction of Rajasthan Canal in the current century. Traditional dams. A dam is a barrier across flowing water that obstructs, directs or retards the flow, often creating a reservoir, lake or impoundment. Traditionally, dams were built on rivers to conserve water for drier times, preventing floods in human settlements and checking soil erosion. Some of the dams have existed since centuries. Let's do one activity. Identify similar structures in your area and write a short report on them discussing about their present condition. Let's summarize the learning of Module 1. While 3/4 of the earth is covered by water, only around 1% of water is available for human use. While water is a renewable resource, almost the entire world faces scarcity of potable water. The situation in India is pretty bad as over half the population faces water scarcity. While there are natural causes of water scarcity, the man-made causes like rapid increase in population fuels growth in agricultural activities, industrialization and urbanization, all of which have a direct impact on demand for water resources. Increasing industrialization and urbanization also result in deteriorating quality of water resources, thereby decreasing the availability of the same. The importance of water conservation and management was well known to our ancestors as well, and we can find some great examples of water conservation as late as even in the Indus Valley civilization that existed in 5500 BC. The methods became more modern in the medieval times, ranging from 9th century to 14th century. The best way to learn is to study and then to revise. Let's answer the following questions. Question number 1. Explain how water becomes a renewable resource. Illustrate your answer with suitable diagram. Question 2. The need of the hour is to conserve and manage our water resources. Justify the statement with suitable facts. Question 3. Why an area which has ample water resources still suffers from water scarcity? Question 4. Throw light on quantitative aspects of water scarcity. With that, we conclude today's session. I hope you all have understood the reasons for scarcity of water in India and various methods of water conservation adopted in ancient and medieval periods. Thank you.